Hello, today I'm gonna read an article about YouTube CEO that he limits his kids' social media use. So I found it here first on Hacker News. It's a lot of good discussions here that you may check out, but we will open the article here. So the headline is YouTube's CEO limits his kids' social media use. Other tech bosses do the same. So if you read here, YouTube CEO 𝗘𝗺𝗡𝗏 is the latest in a line of tech bosses who have admitted to limiting their child's social media use as the harms of being online for young people have become more evident. Mohan, who took the helm of YouTube's leadership in 2023, was just named Time's 2025 CEO of the Year. He said in an interview with the magazine that his children's use of media platforms is controlled and restricted. And here's a quote. We do limit their time on YouTube and other platforms and other forms of media. On weekdays, we tend to be more strict. On weekends, we tend to be less so. We're not perfect by any stretch, Mohan said in one TikTok video posted by Time magazine on Thursday. He stressed everything in moderation is what works best for him and his wife, and that extends to other online services and platforms. Mohan has 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. Experts have continued to sound the alarm on how excessive smartphones and social media has harmed children and teenagers. Jonathan Haidt, NYU professor and author of The Anxious Generation, has advocated for children to not have smartphones before the age of 14 and no access to social media before the age of 16. And the quote here, let them have a flip phone, but remember a smartphone isn't really a phone. They could make phone calls on it, but it's a multi-purpose device by which the world can get to your children, Haidt said in an interview with CNBC's 𝗘𝗺𝗶𝗹 earlier this year. And we can continue here. Here it also says that other tech bosses do the same. So several tech bosses have taken a similar approach. YouTube's former CEO, Susan Wojcicki, has also barred her children from browsing videos on the app unless they were using YouTube Kids. She also limited the amount of time spent on the platform. I allow my younger kids to use YouTube Kids, but I limit the amount of time that they are on it, she told CNBC in 2019. I think too much of anything is not a good thing. And here we have Bill Gates, Microsoft's co-founder, is amongst the tech titans who are against allowing young people too much screen time. With 3 children, now adults, Gates openly talked about not giving them cell phones until they were in their teens. And here's a quote. We don't have cell phones at the table when we are having a meal. We didn't give our kids cell phones until they were 14, and they complained other kids got them earlier, Gates said years ago. Meanwhile, billionaire Mark Cuban would even resort to installing Cisco routers and using management software to monitor which apps his children were on and shut off their phone's phone activity. So we can see that the tech giants, they are limiting their social media use. I think it was a bit interesting here on Hacker News that some were saying that it's a bit interesting that these guys that are helping with developing addictive platforms and social media apps that they know a lot of children are consuming. So like a big user group on YouTube is children, and it's a bit interesting then that CEO himself limits the YouTube usage for his children, while they want to get more screen time from people and make it more addictive so people stay on longer and watch more ads, and at the same time they know that it's not healthy, so they limit the usage for their own children. And I think it's a bit interesting. And now I have my own daughter. She's 1 year old, a little bit over, so we haven't introduced her to watching videos or anything. So I've kept her from that, but she's still just 1 year old, so we will see what we do later. But I think it would be best to follow the advice here to limit the usage and not, maybe not give them smartphone that early and avoid all these social media apps that are addictive. So I think that's something that me and my wife will do with our child, and I think that's it. So please share in the comments if you have children and what you think about this with social media and the addictiveness of them. And see you another time. Bye bye.